The 90s are back in comic shops, from shiny covers to poly bags, and DC Comics seems to be all in on the 90s nostalgia with the reveal of their Next Level initiative at New York Comic Con. We currently have 9 confirmed titles, and some of these have confirmed creative teams. Some of them we are not sure yet, but we do have a list of some names that will be attached to these books. And it's very awesome to see the 90s vibe that they're going with. They recently went back to the old bullet logo that was used for DC in the 80s and 90s, and a lot of these logos that we're seeing for the new reveals have very similar looks to their 90s counterparts, and this is really cool to me. There are a lot of characters that I wasn't expecting to see. I was pleasantly surprised by some of these because these are characters I have wanted to have their own title for a while, but was not expecting to happen so soon. And I think it's really cool for DC to step in this direction and give some different characters a chance. It seems like they kind of relaunch the same characters' books every few years, so this is just making me really happy to see. And I want to go through this list, and I'll let you know what books have confirmed writers, and we have some heavy speculation on who might be attached to it. So first off, we have Batwoman. It is going to be done by Greg Rucka and Danny on art. And Batwoman is definitely not one of my top picks for the Bat family, so this is probably one that I will wait on. Maybe I'll wait for some reviews and check out a collected edition if people are enjoying it, but this probably won't be one that I pick up day one, but I guess we will see. And then we have Deathstroke the Terminator. This is one that I really was not expecting because Deathstroke hasn't really had much popularity in the last few years, but he's overall a very cool character, so I'll probably check it out and see what it's like. The Titans have been very popular recently, so perhaps there will be some kind of crossover going on there. I imagine some titles from the current run will end and some will stay, and Titans seems to be popular enough that it will probably stick around, so I am interested to see what they do with that. Next up's another one that was not expected. I mean, really all of these were not expected except for maybe one, but Firestorm. And I really don't know that much about Firestorm. I think this might be one that I skip. It seems like it's been a while since I've really heard anything about Firestorm, so probably not something I will be picking up, but if this is a character you really like, hopefully it lives up to the expectations you have for it. And then we have Shadow of the Bat. This is one I'm really excited for. I always love the Batman books that aren't the mainline titles, and in the 90s there was Legends of the Dark Knight, there was Shadow of the Bat, there were so many of these interesting kind of offshoots of the Batman title. Shadow of the Bat, I think it was written by Alan Grant, and it was kind of like an anthology style book where none of the stories were really related to one another. I guess cast a shadow on one particular character or maybe a location or a theme. It was just kind of a focus on one aspect of Batman's world. And then next up we have Zatanna. Out of all of these on the list, this is the only one that I may have expected because she just had a 6-issue limited series that wrapped up, and that was by Jamal Campbell, and he is on the list here of creators. So although a writer is not confirmed on the Zatanna book, I think we can safely assume that this is going to be Jamal Campbell continuing the series that he started. And then this next one is going to be good. Clearly the cancellation special could not keep him away because we have Lobo getting his own series, and it is going to be written by Skottie Young with art by Jorge Corona. And that is a very interesting team up. Skottie Young is a very, very cool writer. And he's really good at doing these weird concepts and these off-the-wall stories. I think it's a shame that he's not doing art. I would love to see his style on Lobo. I've seen some variant covers he's done with Lobo on it. I think it would be really cool if he did like a backup story here and there in his style, where it's kind of a more cartoony Lobo getting up to some weird shit. Lobo has been more popular than he's ever been recently. I think 2025 has been his year with the confirmed casting of Jason Momoa. People have been super excited and wanting to see more. So I really enjoyed the cancellation special that he had last year. That made it on my favorite comics of the year list. So this is one that I will definitely be picking up day one. And next up, this is another one I'm really excited about. We have Lobo's old pal, the Demon. And another series that was done by Alan Grant for a good chunk of the run before it was taken over by Garth Ennis. So not sure who is going to be writing this one, but this is the second book on this list that was done by Alan Grant. So interesting little connection there. And I definitely love the Demon. He's one of the most underrated characters, in my opinion, in DC. And it's good to finally see him getting his own title again. I was just thinking recently that I really want Demon to get his own book. He's been used sparingly over the last few years, and he did just show up in the Satanic Panic Halloween special from DC, and he had a pretty cool story in there. That one was one of my favorites. And he is one of the fighters in DCKO, which is very exciting. He is going to be taking on Lex Luthor, and I think that he's got that one down. And now that I think about it, a lot of the characters on this list are actually competing in the DCKO that's going on right now. Batwoman, Zatanna, Lobo, Demon. Yeah, seems like a little bit of a trend going on there. I wonder if maybe this predicts some of the winners of the fights. I don't know. But I just like to think about these things in hypotheticals. So Lobo and Demon, those will definitely be day one pickups. Zatanna will probably be another wait for collected edition. The next one is Barbara Gordon Breakout. This one does not have a confirmed writer, but it has been speculated to be Jeff Lemire because early September there was a preview of something he was working on shared out, and the character definitely looks like Barbara Gordon. I think it'll be interesting to see Barbara Gordon as her own character, kind of outside of Batgirl and Oracle, sort of outside of the Bat family, it seems a little bit in this, so that sounds interesting to me. This is one that I'll probably wait for a collected edition for, but it seems a lot of people are pretty excited to see Barbara get some decent representation. And not pictured here, it has been confirmed that Joshua Williamson will be writing a Legion of Superheroes book, and that makes complete sense because he has been writing the current Superman run, which has been a fan favorite of the current DC lineup, and one that I particularly like, so I think I'll check that one out. It might not be a day one buy, but I think I'll definitely check it out in a collected edition. I know a lot of Legion fans out there are going to be really excited to see them come back. So this has been a really, really awesome reveal. I think DC is going to be killing it in 2026. They have been killing it in 2025. It hasn't been perfect, but I think that DCKO has been really exciting. And I was so caught up in the excitement of all this news that I actually missed the announcement that Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat will be making an appearance in DCKO. Brought out Ed Boon at New York Comic Con to talk about this. I think it'll be in sort of the wrap-up part in February, and I'm sure it'll be just a small cameo, and there will be multiple other characters, but I did make the comparison to Mortal Kombat when talking about DCKO, so I think it is just perfect. DC and Mortal Kombat have always had an interesting history, and I would love to see, now that DC has kind of embraced the dark a little bit more, I would love to see a true M-rated Mortal Kombat versus DC, an uncensored version like it should have been originally. I actually really liked the Mortal Kombat versus DC, but it would have been so cool to see actual fatalities. I'm sure this will be just a small cameo, but I'm excited to see what this might lead to. I've been wanting DC to put out a Mortal Kombat series for a while. They did it around the New 52 time, around the release of Mortal Kombat X, and I would love to see them do something now. Mortal Kombat seems to be another thing that is having a bit of a comeback and growing in popularity again, so I'm all here for it, and I'm all here for these new releases. So let me know if you're planning on picking up any of these books. There are definitely a few that I think are going to be day ones for me. I think Shadow of the Bat, Lobo, the Demon, those ones are all going to be day ones for sure. And then some of them are definitely going to be ones I check out in collected editions. And some of them, not so sure about, but overall, I think that this is a great launch, and I think that everyone has something to be excited for. And of course, there's more to come. So thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.